Hi and welcome back to my channel Study Address. I'm Payal and in this video, let's talk about how to analyze a dasha. Now what exactly is a dasha? In Vedic Astrology, dasha means a time period in your life. Time periods can be good, time periods can be bad. And how exactly do we understand from Vedic Astrology whether the current dasha, the current time period that you're running or the next dasha that you will be entering is good or bad? If you haven't already, please do not forget to subscribe to this channel. This will encourage me to make more content for you on this channel. There are obviously a lot of things that I will go through regarding the analysis of dasha, so do watch till the end. If you would like for me to look into your birth chart and analyze your current dasha or the next dasha that you will be entering, you can book a full private astrology consultation with me. Or if you want to understand the general analysis of a dasha, if you have a general question in mind regarding your birth chart or regarding astrology, you are free to comment on this video and I will try my best to reply to each one of you. So let's get started. We understand, that when we go to astrologers, sometimes they will say that, oh, you're going through such a bad time period because the dasha is not right, or the dasha is changing next year and this is when you will get, 1, 2, 3 things. So how do we actually, make predictions like that? First of all, obviously, the promise in the birth chart has to be there. The next step is to check dasha, because dasha is when any promise that is there in your birth chart will get manifested. You need the right dasha for getting the things that are promised to you in the birth chart. Similarly, if there is anything that is bad in the birth chart or anything negative that is there in the birth chart, that too gets manifested in the particular dasha. In this video, I will tell you 5 things that we need to check to understand or to analyze a dasha. Note that a dasha cannot be 100% correct or 100% wrong. There will be mixed results for most people, because as I said, there are 5 things that we check when we analyze a dasha, and out of those 5 things, let's say if 4 things are positive and 1 thing is negative, then the dasha will obviously gravitate towards being positive, but there will be something negative in the dasha as well. Similarly, if let's say 3 things are negative, 2 things are positive, then you can say that it will be a mixed bag. There will be certain good things that will happen in the dasha and there will be some bad things as well. So basically, this is the general gist of understanding and analyzing a dasha. This is a very well researched video, so I hope you find this useful. You can obviously check your birth chart and see what dasha you're currently running, and then the points that I will tell you, match those with the dasha, and you can yourself understand and get clarity on the current dasha that you're running and the next dasha that you will enter. Okay, so let's get started. The first thing that you need to check is the natural nature, the natural tendency of the planet whose dasha we are analyzing or checking. If it is the dasha of a natural benefic planet like Jupiter, Venus, or Moon, or if it is the dasha of a natural malefic like Saturn, Rahu, Mars, Ketu, etc. While we don't have to really stop at this point, because most people I know, they generally will look into the planet in question and then they will fear or they will get too excited about that dasha. If a Jupiter dasha is starting, they will be like, now things will be very easy. Or if the Saturn dasha is going to start, they actually tend to fear it. Some fear is okay, because let's say if you talk about Saturn, the dasha, even if it is very positive, it will make you work hard. It will give you opportunities to have a lot of discipline in your life. And a lot of people, they do not like hard work and discipline or the idea of it. So that makes them fear the dasha. Rahu's dasha, if we talk about, is in general a time period where you feel lost, where you want answers, where you obsess over things, but you are generally confused. This is the general tendency of the planet. However, we don't have to stop there. So first thing, as I said, you check the general nature of the planet. Even if it is a bad dasha, the dasha of a benefic planet will in general be softer on your life, and the dasha of a natural malefic will be in general a little harsh. We move to the next step, which is checking the functional nature of that planet in your birth chart, whether the planet is a functional malefic or a functional benefic in your birth chart. So let's say Jupiter is a natural benefic, however in your chart it is a functional malefic. So that will change the whole result of the dasha for you. The lords of 6th, 8th and 12th houses in your birth chart, they in general will bring conflicted situations, losses, debt, diseases, transformations. So checking the functional nature of the planet, basically which houses does it rule in your particular birth chart as per your lagna, is the second point that you need to check. After that, we check the third point, which is basically where exactly is it placed in your birth chart, which house does it occupy in your birth chart. Again, if it is seated in the 6th house, in the 8th house, or in the 12th house, and also to some extent in the 3rd house, then this dasha becomes again challenging. On the contrary, if it is seated in a Kendra house, first 4, 7, 10th houses, or in a Trikona house, 5, 9, and first is obviously the common house, so that becomes a good dasha. In general, it will give you favorable results and auspicious opportunities depending upon obviously the nature of the house itself. Now let's come to the fourth point, which is basically the yogas, the connections that planet is forming with other house lords, other planets in your birth chart. If there is an aspect of a benefic planet on that planet that we are checking, then that planet's dasha becomes a positive, or the negative results of that dasha becomes slightly reduced. However, if the planet whose dasha we are checking is aspected by a malefic, then obviously the results would be tainted with a little bit of negativity, even if it is placed in a positive house. There will be some challenges. Obviously, as I said, that no dasha is completely, good or bad because of these factors that we are analyzing. So to sum up, the fourth point is connections, the yogas that the planet is forming with other planets, other house lords. Obviously, this point also covers the yogas, as I said, that the planet is forming, whether the planet is forming any dhan yogas, any Viprit Raj yogas, or any Raj yogas. That also becomes important or becomes manifested in the dasha of that planet. Now let's come to the fifth point, which is the strength of the planet. Strength of the planet is actually a very crucial area, and it is not something that you can easily determine. There are so many factors that actually tell if the planet is in strength in your birth chart or if it is weak in general. Now, weakness and strength of the planet is different from it ruling Trikona or Kendra house or a Dusthana or being placed in either of these. You need to check whether planet in question is in its own sign, in a Mool Trikona sign, if it is in the sign of exaltation, debilitation. Then you need to check whether it is combust, retrograde, all of that. The degrees in which the planet is there in your birth chart also become important. The planets that are towards the extreme ends, 0 degrees, 1 degrees, or 29, above 29, 28 even, they will not be fully there in that house basically. Even if they are in a Mool Trikona sign or so, that planet would still not be in its full strength if the degrees are at the extreme. So these are basically the 5 main points that you need to check to analyze a dasha. Additionally, we can also check the dispositor of the house where the planet in question is seated. So let's say if the planet that we are talking about is sitting in the 4th house in your birth chart. So you check the lord of the 4th house as well, and check its dignity, its status, the house where it is placed, and its overall strength. So that also colors the results of that planet in question a lot. So these are all the points that you need to check to analyze your dasha. I hope you found this video useful. Please do not forget to like and share this video with others and subscribe to my channel. I hope to see you in another video on study address. Bye for now.